In 1974, the small and quiet town of Ossett, West Yorkshire, England, became the site of one of the most terrifying and violent exorcism cases ever recorded. The events surrounding Michael Taylor and his horrifying descent into madness or possession remain one of the most chilling real-life horror stories of all time. Michael Taylor was an unassuming man, a husband and father, known for his kind demeanor and deep religious devotion. He lived a seemingly normal life with his wife, Christine, and their children. However, Michael began struggling with depression and erratic mood swings, which some believed stemmed from a spiritual affliction rather than a medical condition. His emotional instability made him vulnerable, and soon he became involved with a local Christian fellowship group led by a charismatic young preacher named Marie Robinson. Marie, a deeply religious woman, conducted prayer meetings where she claimed to heal people through the power of faith. Michael, searching for relief from his inner turmoil, became increasingly drawn to her and her teachings. His participation in the group worried Christine, who suspected that something was not right. Her concerns intensified when she noticed Michael and Marie forming an unusually close bond. During a prayer session, Christine confronted Michael in front of the group, accusing him of having an inappropriate relationship with Marie. The moment the accusation left her lips, something inside Michael snapped. His once gentle and reserved nature was replaced by uncontrollable rage. Witnesses described how he suddenly erupted into a violent fit, speaking in tongues, hissing like an animal, and lashing out physically. His eyes were wild, his face twisted with fury, and his voice no longer seemed his own. The other members of the group were horrified, believing that something demonic had taken hold of him. Marie herself claimed to see an evil force within Michael and warned that he was in grave danger. Fearing he was possessed, local clergymen, including Father Peter Vincent and Reverend Raymond Smith, agreed to perform an exorcism. On the night of October 5, 1974, Michael was taken to St. Thomas's Church in the nearby town of Barnsley, where the ritual began. What followed was an exorcism of terrifying proportions. For 8 long hours, the priests battled what they claimed were multiple demons inside Michael. The exorcism was brutal. Michael convulsed, screamed, and thrashed violently. He spat, growled, and tried to attack those around him. The priests reported that 40 demons were cast out, each one representing different sins such as anger, greed, lust, and blasphemy. However, by the early hours of the morning, the priests were physically and spiritually exhausted. Believing they had done enough for the night, they stopped the ritual despite acknowledging that some demons still remained within him. They sent Michael home, warning that he was still in danger. What happened next remains one of the most horrifying and disturbing crimes in British history. A few hours after the exorcism ended, as the town of Ossett slept, Michael Taylor unleashed unspeakable violence inside his home. In the early hours of the morning, Michael brutally attacked his wife, Christine, in a fit of madness. He tore at her flesh with his bare hands, gouging out her eyes and ripping out her tongue. Blood covered the walls, and the horrific brutality of the attack suggested an almost inhuman strength. Their pet dog was not spared. Michael strangled and mutilated the animal, leaving behind a scene of sheer carnage. Moments later, Michael was found wandering the streets, naked and covered in blood. His body trembled, his face was blank, and he muttered incoherent words about the devil. When the police arrived, they were met with one of the most gruesome crime scenes they had ever encountered. Christine's body was barely recognizable, destroyed by the sheer savagery of Michael's attack. Michael was immediately arrested and taken into custody. During his trial, he displayed signs of deep psychological distress. He claimed to have no memory of the attack, and when questioned, he spoke of demons, possession, and an evil force that had controlled him. His defense argued that the exorcism had left him mentally and emotionally shattered, driving him to commit an act of horrific violence. Ultimately, Michael Taylor was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity. He was sent to Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security psychiatric facility, where he spent several years before being transferred to another institution. After his release, He continued to struggle with mental illness and had several run-ins with the law, though he never committed another crime of such magnitude. The exorcism of Michael Taylor remains one of the most infamous cases in modern history, blurring the lines between religious belief, mental illness, and supernatural horror. Was he truly possessed by a dark force, as the priests and witnesses believed? Or was he suffering from a severe psychological breakdown exacerbated by religious hysteria? To this day, the case remains one of the most chilling examples of an exorcism gone terribly wrong, an unspeakable horror that left a bloody and terrifying mark on history.
Enjoyed the content? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more awesome videos your way. Don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest uploads. Thanks for watching.